Thank you, EA, for this opportunity. Sims can now run a business and live on the same lot? EA, BBG, are you feeling okay? Because I think you just gave me exactly what I wanted. This is not a drill. It's finally happening! Multi-purpose lots are a thing. Your sim can wake up, grab some brekky, and immediately start their entrepreneurial grind. Plus, there's a whole new business alignment system which lets you be a wholesome dreamer or a total capitalist gremlin. Let's get to the good and see what's actually worth your time. Tattoos! Isn't it exciting? Of course, we could always add tattoos and create a sim, but now our sims can permanently ink up their fellow sims in-game. This brand new skill allows you to go from practicing on sketch pads, attending classes, and practicing on willing victims. I mean sims. To level up and unlock additional stencils, brushes, and tools. And of course, their skill. With the free update that was released before Business and Hobbies, aka B&H, players have extra tattoo placements and options. This includes areas on the lower and upper arms, both legs, lower and upper back, stomach, chest, and head. You can also adjust the opacity for each tattoo, and most of them will have a color customization option similar to the makeup, which yeah, love it. If you own B&H, you can stack tattoos up to 5 layers per section of the body. That is insane. And you can choose different tattoos for each side. But let me be the first to tell you, they made it seem like you could completely move the tattoos around freely, and that's not completely true. Each tattoo has placement restrictions, and from what I tested, and I did not have the time to test all of them, but I did test a few, they barely moved at all. Barely up and down, not even side to side. Maybe I was unlucky with the tattoos I picked. Maybe. A fan favorite feature is the ability to create custom tattoos. Similar to the paint tool for cats, dogs, and horses, you can now go into paint mode and design whatever masterpiece your little heart desires. I'm very excited to see what players come up with. There are some incredibly talented artists out there, and yes, you can share tattoos on the gallery, making it easy to download designs from other players. If you want to get a tattoo, you can dedicate it to a loved one or even request tattoo removal if you have regrets. Clicking on the tattoo bed gives you several options: offer tattoo, request tattoo, hire tattoo artist, tend tattoo table, and practice tattooing. Owning and operating a tattoo parlor is a major highlight of this pack. You can also visit one. There is already one inside the new world that you can visit, and it's pretty cool. I really like the vibe of that one. Okay, we gotta talk about the animations for the tattooing. The first time I tattooed a guy's face, he took his shirt off and my sim started working on his lower stomach area. Later I tattooed his leg and it was fine. You know, she was actually working on his leg, but at one point the tattoo that she was doing just disappeared. So obviously this is a case of lack of animations, because why didn't she just tattoo his face when she was tattooing his face? And yeah, very frustrating. I found it a little nerve-wracking getting my first custom tattoo from another sim because I had no idea how it would work, how much I could pick, or what the limitations were. Thankfully, after the tattoo animation played for a bit, it takes you into Cast to select the tattoos yourself. So that's pretty awesome. And you can really tat up your sim this way. You can choose anywhere. It doesn't really seem like there's much limitations, just some of the tattoos are locked depending on the skill level. If you choose the non-custom option, you'll be able to select the tattoo directly from the in-game menu, like this. Overall, this is a fantastic addition to The Sims 4. Players are going to have a blast designing tattoos, sharing them, and running tattoo shops. The beloved Pottery Skill from Sims 2 Free Time is back. This skill lets Sims craft functional items like vases, plant pots, candle lanterns, cake stands, oil burners, incense holders, tea sets, and even sculptures. If something breaks, your Sim can repair it using the art of kintsugi, a real-life Japanese art of fixing broken pottery with gold. To level up, your Sim needs to mold their designs, choose a glaze to add color and decorations, and fire up in the kiln. I love everything that we got here. Look at all of the cute options. Obsessed. You can sell your creations, decorate your home, list them on Plopsy if you have nifty knitting, or even make them heirlooms if you have life or death. I'm guessing they'll also work in the get-to-work retail stores, because why wouldn't they? But let's be real. The lack of animations, again, it's disappointing. Your sim barely interacts with the clay, and it doesn't look like they're actually shaping what you've chosen for them to create, you know? Sims 2 at least had a foot pedal. These Sims don't even have a foot pedal. One of the most anticipated features of B&H is the small business system. If you own Get to Work, you'll recognize some aspects, but this pack expands on the concept beautifully. Registering a business is super simple. You can do it through the Own Business section, an open sign, a computer, or your phone. Once registered, you can name your business, choose an icon, set activities, pricing, and target customers. There are tons of presets, and at first I kind of panicked because I didn't see a daycare option, but then I noticed that you can choose to have supervised customers. There's like a little supervised customer setting, and that allows us to choose whether or not the caregiver stays on the lot or not. And essentially that lets us run a daycare service, or we could do like a doggy daycare, guess just overall pet daycare, because you can have cats and horses as well. There's a lot of options here. Hiring employees is also streamlined. I like how they do it here more than I like Get to Work and how they do it with that pack. You can select up to 3 employees from your relationship panel, see their skills, and set their hourly wage. The pay ranges from 12 simoleons to 32 simoleons per hour. You can assign up to 5 tasks per employee, which is great for running businesses with multiple roles. Like you could have a janitor type employee, you can have an employee running a coffee or tea cart, you can have an employee who is customer facing. It's a lot of possibilities because of this, and I love that they did that. They're not all doing the same thing. And there's a ton of options, so very happy. Players are going to get super creative with this system. As I mentioned, I tried to run a daycare, but at first all of the kids kept disappearing after their parents paid. I guess I just didn't have like enough stuff to keep them on the lot. So yeah, there are some kinks to work out, and I think that if you're doing a custom business, it's really, you gotta see what works with what you're trying to go for. One game-changing addition in B&H is the ticket kiosk. This item lets you set an entry fee or an hourly rate for any lot. I've wished for something like this for ages, but never knew exactly how it would work. Turns out, this is how it would work. It's brilliant. Imagine charging entry fee for gyms, nightclubs, art galleries, pottery studios, exclusive cafes, educational classes, and more. It's all good stuff. This is a fantastic way to monetize community lots, and honestly, I think I'm gonna have to go back in and add this to almost all of the community lots I've ever created because it's awesome. And also being on the customer end of things, I liked it. It was pretty cool to see it work. As you grow your business, you'll earn business perks, unlocking new interactions and effects. Your sim will align with one of these 3 pathways. Dreamers focus on passion projects and community engagement. Schemers prioritize profit and strategic tactics. And neutrals maintain a balanced approach. You can choose from any 3 pathways. You don't have to go directly for one, or you could if you wanted to. Unfortunately, I think skill trees like this one are a huge weak point for The Sims 4. They're just so bland, dude. They're so painfully boring. We only ever get several straight pathways, they never really branch off. It's nothing special. Honestly, they're some of the worst skill trees I've ever seen in a video game. And that's saying something. A Sims 4 expansion pack without events? Unheard of. No, but seriously, B&H comes with customer appreciation events, and they're fine. They're supposed to help foster customer loyalty and attract new clientele. Through these events, you can provide special promotions, showcase new products or services, and engage directly with customers. In theory, all of this should boost your business's reputation and success. Something I didn't know I needed was this family recipe system. Does it make sense with a business pack? No. Do I care? Also no. I love the idea of it. The family recipe system enriches the game's cooking mechanics by enabling Sims to develop unique dishes that can become signature items in their restaurants or cafes. It's a cool way to make food feel more personal. Sharing these recipes with family members ensures the preservation of culinary traditions across generations. An item that sort of pairs with this, Grammy's Family Recipes, a book that functions as a one-stop shop for all things cooking. You can click on this book to access cooking, canning, baking, grand meals, animal treats, basically basically everything you'd normally access through the stove or fridge. But here's where it gets interesting for family recipes. You can select this book or the stove or the fridge, and there's a new section for family recipes. This is where you can create, prepare, teach, or view recipes. When you go to create a family recipe, you'll first select a base recipe, then a secret ingredient, and finally a special touch. The special touch is where things get fun, because these effects actually impact gameplay. You can make a dish that speeds up homework completion, or one that doubles satisfaction points from fulfilling wants and aspirations, and so much more. Those are just 2 options out of all of them. It's pretty neat. Then you get to name it, which is always fun. The cost of the recipe depends on the ingredients used and the serving size. Honestly, I really do think family recipes are a sweet little addition to the game. One of my favorite things about B&H is multi-purpose lots. I'm obsessed. This allows players to combine residential and business spaces on a single lot. So freaking awesome, right? It's perfect for Sims who want to run a home business, or for players like me who are too lazy to leave the retail lot. You can tell if a lot is multi-purpose because they'll have this icon on the world map. When you click on it, you'll see both the business and household. When you travel there, you'll be asked if you're visiting the household as a guest or the business as a customer. If a household member is at the business, their sim pic will show up like this. Business activities are displayed here as well. A lot that is strictly a small business will look like this. I love that when you visit as a customer, you can still see the residential area and household members doing their thing in there. I was worried that it would work like the rental units in For Rent with annoying loading screens to visit each unit, but thankfully that's not the case. That said, some of the areas of the lot can be off limits to customers, or they might be employee-only spaces. Despite that, you could still see what's happening. You just won't be able to go into it or interact with items in there or people in there. This is a cool feature. Just don't forget to set those off-limit areas when you are running your small business, because Sims will go into your personal areas without that being set. I made that mistake with my daycare, and all of the kids were going into my bedroom, and I was like, hey, let's not do that. But I couldn't set it when the business was open. So keep that in mind. Let's talk about mentorship, because it's another feature I'm actually excited about. Sims with a high enough skill can host classes and lectures to share their expertise. This lets skilled Sims build a legacy by teaching others, while attendees gain knowledge and earn skill points. In addition, there are hobby meetups where Sims with shared interests can gather and find mentors. This adds depth to skill building, making it feel more interactive and community driven. For the hobby meetups, you can click on the sign here and see the info about that. You can also disable notifications, which they need to implement for all packs because these notifications are getting out of hand. So I enjoy that feature here. There is a lot of different meetups here, as you can see, so that's going to be fun for a lot of players. When someone is giving a lecture, you'll see your sim skill bar increase, which is nice. Your sim is just sitting there listening and gaining skills. If you click on the whiteboard, you can ask to start a class, hold a lecture for a group, or just hold a lecture. My only gripe: Sims don't sit down when attending lectures. This is something that frustrates me a lot for group activities in Sims 4. It feels like they have no idea where they're supposed to be. And for this instance, you should sit down and listen. Don't just group around the person. It's weird. No one does that in real life. So yeah, that's my frustration with this aspect of the pack. So, B&H, a great pack? Yes. A perfect pack? No. Pathfinding for Sims is still a little wonky. Like I was just saying, lecture attendees just stand around like lost NPCs. And of course, there still aren't enough animations. And some interactions feel so close to being amazing, but just fall flat. But hey, I guess that's the Sims 4 experience that we all love to hate, right? Frustration, but make it fun sometimes, maybe. That said, if you love running businesses, this pack is a solid addition. In fact, I recommend this pack over Get to Work if you had to choose one or the other. Still, with that being said, I recommend waiting for a sale. And also check out Instant Gaming. There's always a sale there. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future updates. Thanks for hanging out, and until next time, stay happy, healthy, and hydrated. Bye!